I had one of, I don't know if she's a subscriber or just a viewer, but I assume she's a subscriber, ask me about how Brian and I do the Your Day, My Day thing. And so I'll just explain a little bit about that. So we were married for 4 years before we had Madison, our first, in 2006. Honey, be quiet, please. And when we had her, when I had her, excuse me, I had a C-section. And so obviously that puts you out of commission with doing a lot of big stuff for, you know, a couple weeks at least. Like I wasn't really allowed to lift anything real heavy. Of course, a little newborn baby is, you know, only, honey, be quiet please, 6 or 7 pounds. So Brian was doing, you know, quite a bit around the house, and then, you know, I was nursing Madison, or trying to nurse her at first anyway. And then I ended up pumping because she wasn't latching and blah, 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 blah. Well, then it got to a point, we were living in Biloxi, Mississippi at the time when she was born. And because Brian was going to tech school, which is like their career school that the Air Force goes to after basic training. So he was learning how to do his job, and that was there in Mississippi. So in Mississippi they have casinos. Well, at the time also I would drink occasionally. After I had her, I would pump and dump and all that stuff. Well, I like to have some time to go out and, you know, after, you know, a month or two after I had her, you know, I wanted to go out. I had a couple friends there, so it was kind of ladies' night out, and I needed that break. So it just kind of grew from that he would take care of her that night and then get up with her in the morning, because if I was drinking I didn't want to get up too early, you know, that kind of thing. Well, then I don't know how exactly, but it just kind of morphed into, okay, this is my weekend, this is your day off, and then this is my day off. And we've just continued that since Madison was a baby. And we continued that with Alana too. If we have a third one, I don't know. I don't know if it'll completely work, but you know, if I'm expected to... Shh! Honey, be quiet, please. If I'm expected to be able to care for 3 children by myself all day while he's at work, or for 5 months while he's deployed, he can handle 3 kids for 1 day of the weekend. So it's not like that big of a deal. Anyway, so what we do is, depending on, he used to have a weird schedule where he didn't have weekends off. He would just like work 3 or 4 days, and then he would have a couple days off. So my day off would be whatever weird day he had off. We would kind of alternate, like, okay, well, you had the first day off last week, so I had the first day off this week. And also on the days that he works swings, which his swing shift is 2 to 11 and his day shift is 5 to 2. On the days that he works swings, which is every other week, we take turns sleeping in. So now that Madison's going to school, you know, the one who's morning off they'll get to sleep in, and then the other person, I'm not explaining this very well, sorry, let's use examples, that might be easier for me. Okay, so, for instance, this weekend, today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday. Since Brian has been having weekends off lately, Saturdays have been his days and Sundays have been my days, so that I can go drugstore shopping early Sunday morning, because I could still do that, but I would have to take both kids if it were his day off on Sunday. So Saturday will be his day off, which means that we will put them together tonight if it was a normal day. But today, since he's off because of his teeth and everything, today is his day off. So whatever, on a normal Friday night, if he were working a day shift this last week and he were home, one of us would put one of the girls to bed and the other would put the other girl to bed, and the other one to bed. and we just kind of, again, switch that back and forth, take turns. If he did Madison last night, I'll do her tonight. Get her in her PJs and do all that stuff. There's a lot of turn taking back and forth, and it works for us. You know, we don't really bicker about it or anything, and it's just our way of sharing and compromising, instead of feeling like we're just waiting for the other one to take some initiative and do something. We just do this so that it feels fair and there's no resentment as to who's doing more and whatever like that. So, if it were a normal week, we'd be taking turns putting them to bed tonight, and then at 8 o'clock his night would start. And what that entails, or used to entail at least when we didn't have two like kind of TV areas, would be that he would get to watch whatever he wanted to on TV, and pretty much the other one would have to do pretty much what that other one would want to do. For instance, like on my nights off, sometimes I want him to like play a board game with me or something, and it's not like all or nothing, like you absolutely have to do what I say, you know, or whatever, but it's more like a courtesy, like, okay, it's your night off, you want to play a board game, okay, I'll compromise, I'll give in, I'll play a board game with you. Or like if he wanted to play, if he wanted to watch a certain movie that maybe I wouldn't really normally want to watch, I would just go ahead and give in to him and watch his movie on his night off, stuff like that. And then that night, like tonight, his night off before his day off, he will stay up late because he doesn't have to get up in the morning, and I would have to go to bed at like a normal hour, which would be like on a Friday night, since I don't have to get her up for school. I don't necessarily have to get up as early, but I would still probably be in bed by about 1 o'clock at the very latest. And then he would come to bed whenever, and then if Madison wakes up in the middle of the night, it's my responsibility. Like when Alana was a baby, it was like when the baby wakes up in the middle of the night, it's the person who's on call or whatever, it's their turn to get up and everything. So you handle everything with the kids from 8 o'clock p.m. to the next 8 o'clock p.m. Because that's when the girls go to bed. So as soon as the girls are in bed, your night starts. And so then tomorrow, he would get up at whatever time he wants to get up. Usually the person whose day off it is, usually about 10:30 is when they get up, and the same as like when he's on swing shift and it's like your morning off, you pretty much get until 10:30 and then you need to get up, and then it's like, I'm jumping back and forth again, sorry, I'll explain that in a minute. Shh. So then tomorrow he'd get up whenever, I mean he can sleep till 2 o'clock p.m. if he wants to, it's his day off. He can do whatever, like if he wanted to leave at noon and be gone all day until 8 o'clock p.m., that's his business if he wants to do that. Like if he doesn't have any friends here, but if he had some friends and he wanted to go to Busch Gardens with his friends, or if he wanted to go golfing, or if he wanted to go whatever, if he wanted to go to Hooters for dinner by himself and watch a football game or something, I mean he can do that. Really, no questions asked, but no guilt trips or anything. It's his day off. He can do whatever he wants. Does he usually do that? No. He usually always stays home. Usually the way that it goes is that we have the man cave upstairs with a TV, and then the living room downstairs. And the person whose day off it is usually takes a lot of me time if they're home, and usually spends most of the day upstairs, away from the chaos, just chilling, doing what they want on the computer and whatever, and just watching TV and just chilling. So that's usually what he does. Or maybe he'll wash his car, or you know, whatever he wants to do. And then we either, now that he has weekends off, we usually go out to eat either on Saturday evening or Sunday evening. And if we go out on his day, which has been Saturdays lately, then he gets to pick where we eat. You know, we kind of share responsibilities with the kids while we're out at dinner. I mean, you can't really like sit there and do nothing if the kids are acting up. So, I mean, we share in those responsibilities, and then as soon as we get home, then, you know, I have to put the girls to bed, and then my night starts at 8 o'clock, and then the same thing. I get to stay up as late as I want, watch whatever I want. Like I said about the board games, and then I get to sleep in. But I choose lately not to sleep in on my day off because I want to get up at 8 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock, so that I can get to the drugstores early before everything is sold out. And then again, I usually spend most of my day that I'm not shopping. I usually spend upstairs chilling out. And then then he has to put the girls to bed on Sunday night. And then depending on what shift he works during that next week, will depend on when he goes to bed or whatever, but that doesn't really make any difference. Now, say he works swings next week, and it was my day off on Sunday, so his morning off would be Monday morning, so which means that he could stay up on Sunday night because he gets to sleep in on Monday morning. And like I said, till about 10:30, so I have to get up, and I have all responsibilities of the girls in the morning and the dogs. And then the other person gets up at 10:30, and then it would be totally shared with the girls until he has to get ready for work. At about 12:30, he starts getting ready for work. So between 10:30 and 12:30, it's sharing, except for the fact that the person that slept in has to make the girls lunch. And then he goes to work, and then it's all me for the rest of the night. And then I have to put them both to bed because he doesn't get home until 11:30. And then on days that he works days, obviously he has to get up at 3:45 in the morning, and so I get up with the girls and everything. And then when he gets home at 2:30, it is completely shared from 2:30 until 8 o'clock, and we share putting the girls to bed, like I said earlier, about taking turns going back and forth, who's putting who to bed, and getting them ready for bed, and brushing their teeth, and all that kind of stuff, brushing their hair. And bath times, same thing. We usually bathe them together, so it's usually not like one of us bathes one and the other bathes the other one. It's usually like, okay, I have today, so you have tomorrow, kind of stuff, except for obviously when he works swings, then it's my total responsibility. So, that is that. I know that was a very long conversation, so I'm going to have to make this a separate video. And I also just wanted to say, other than that, like on holiday breaks or when he's on leave or whatever, we also go back and forth. Your day, my day, depending on how many days he has. If he has an odd day, like say on like a 3-day weekend, that third day will be a shared day. That's the days that we try to catch up on the things that we didn't get done during the week, or we didn't get done on our days off or whatever. Things that, like mowing the lawn, or doing some kind of home improvement together, or stuff like that. And so that's it. I know it sounds a bit confusing, but it's really not for us because we've been doing it for almost 5 years now, so it's second nature to us. And like I said, I mean, I think that both Brian and I can be selfish at times, and we're especially selfish with our me time. And since with 2 kids you get very little me time, we try to be considerate to each other, and we can both be petty about things, and so this works for us, so that we, like I said earlier, so that we don't feel like one of us is doing way more than the other one, and it just feels like this cuts down on any kind of resentment that could be there or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's just more fair for us this way, and it works for us. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll try to help. And I hope that if you're interested in doing this, that your husband would be so gracious to do it with you. And yeah, so talk to you guys later.